6, 7, 8, 9.
Take my hand.
I'm not naughty. I'm autistic. And I just get too much information.
What is autism? Autism is a lifelong developmental disability that affects how we communicate with and relate to others, and it affects how we make sense of the world around us. Lots of things that people take for granted, like body language and metaphors, can be confusing and alienating for us. Autism is a spectrum condition, so that whilst we all share certain difficulties, our autism will affect us in different ways. Some of us have been to university and hold down jobs, whilst others need a lifetime of specialist support. Asperger's syndrome is a form of autism. People with Asperger's syndrome are often of average or above average intelligence. They have fewer problems with speech, but may still have difficulties with understanding and processing language. What is autism like? For us, the world can be a confusing mass of people, events, and places. Sometimes we struggle to make sense of the world, and this can make us anxious. Every person with autism is different. That's what makes it so difficult to understand. But some of the characteristics that we have include a love of routines, sensory issues such as noises or smells or light, and having special interests. Some of us experience difficulties in understanding and relating to other people, and having a social life can be that much harder for us. For some of us, for example, going to a party can be really hard because we don't know what's going to happen or who will be there, and it often gets too noisy, which can be upsetting. Other people with autism have trouble reading facial expressions, understanding jokes or sarcasm, or common phrases like break a leg. Even phrases people use every day like it's cool can be disorientating. You think they're asking you to turn the air conditioning off. Many people with autism don't look disabled. Parents of children with autism often say that people simply think their child is naughty, while we adults find that we are misunderstood. That is why it is called a hidden disability.
So what is the autism spectrum? It can firstly be defined by social impairment, which is a failure to interact with others, playing alone instead of in a group, and problem sharing interest, achievement or pleasure with others. Also, repetitive behaviours or interests, which can be an interest of intense focus. They require routine or ritual even if it has no purpose, and a repetition of movement. And lastly, communication impairment, which can be a delay or absence in speech and repetitive language. Dr. Stephen Shore once said, if you met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism, meaning that no autistic child or person is the same. Saltcoats Town Hall was originally built in 1825 by designer and local builder Peter King. In 1892, the town hall was added to the townhouse. In 2016, restoration was completed. Beside the site is the bus stop and train station within walking distance. Other facilities nearby is a leisure centre, Sculcoats Harbour and a cinema. From the site it is a 9-minute drive to Ardrossan Harbour. From here there are regular ferry connections to and from Arran with an average time of 55 minutes. Arran is popular for outdoor activities. The highest point in Arran is on Goat Fell. Outdoor activity for autistic children offers endless amounts of sensory stimulation, which includes the feel of breeze, sound of insects in transport and the warm sun on face. ASD also suffer a disconnection with their large motor movements. This means that they can be uncoordinated in getting their bodies to do what their mind is telling them. Taking part in outdoor activities can contribute to helping an ASD child's large motor movements. The Scottish Government annually spends just over $26,000 on services for autistic children, which includes education, social care and other services. However, the NHS is still failing to meet the needs of autistic young people and children due to late diagnosis, long waiting times and lack of support. Having a diagnosis is vital for said person to reach a sense of belonging and enables them to understand their own issues. Without this, mental health problems such as obsessive compulsive disorder and depression can occur, which is preventable. The Scottish Autism Charity, currently celebrating 50 years, already operates in certain locations within Scotland. Investment into the new Sculcoats Family Respite will create links between west of Scotland and other areas. Paul Prescott is the current chairman and is parent of a young adult with autism. Alison Lease holds formal qualification in autism. She is the founding member and chair of Autism Argyll and was a leader of work done by NHS to develop ASD information resources. Located in the Isle of Wight, this centre has been designed to provide quality self-catering accommodation and facilities to support families, schools and care homes with members of any age on the autistic spectrum. The facility features self-catering apartments and outdoor garden space. Inside there is a spa and pool area, gym facility, art room, music room, games room and sensory room. In the nearby town of Irvine, the original townhouse and jailhouse of Irvine, built in the 14th century, was declared unfit for purpose, and in 1856 a new townhouse was built. The new building provides council chamber and courthouse. The newly built Portal Leisure Centre next door to the townhouse benefited refurbishment. Inside has been transformed and outside restored considering original detail. This building features similar characteristics to the Sculcoats Town Hall. In Doncaster, a new build residential centre and major refurbishment of large country mansion to accommodate adults with autism and learning difficulties. The concept for the mansion is to achieve a thoughtful, non-institutional design while respecting the character of the building and its surrounding land. This project is similar to the current proposal as it is restoring an old building for new purpose. Acoustics can be an issue for an autistic person. The hum of fluorescent lighting can be annoying, aircon, walking footsteps, kids playing and bins being emptied. A solution to this is to use noise absorbing materials such as carpet, rubber, cork. Remove aircon, heating, boiler and ventilation to a separate site such as an outdoor hut. Light for an autistic person can be too dark, light, warm, cold, dim, harsh, artificial or natural. When using natural light, use large windows located 6 feet above the ground to contract distractions. If using artificial light, a diverse mix of overhead and side lighting, all of which can be dimmed to suit the person. Autistic children can be extra sensitive to the feeling of material. What may be appealing to one, another may find it unbearable to touch. There is no common ground, but useful approaches can be taken. Use natural textiles and materials such as wool and cork. Use materials a non-autistic person would prefer. Enclosed spaces such as treatment rooms and offices were created from brightly coloured houses and huts positioned along paths and open gathering spaces in this project. Creating stimuli to keep children at ease was introduced through artificial cloud and sky, also adding artificial parks and beaches. This contrasts the never-ending long corridors of hospitals and clinics which can confuse and frighten an autistic child. This case study shows colour blocking and use of natural materials. Wayfinding in this floor plan shows that there is no corridors, curved walls prevent the element of surprise and space for socialising and being alone. The layout shows the office is in the centre and the plant room has been away from high usage areas.
And we came up finally with what we call the Autism Aspects Design Index, which has been recognized and presented worldwide and received international awards. Aspects is basically a set of 7 guidelines. It's not like code, like the type of code you would see for designing for other disabilities, but it's a set of criteria, a catalyst for thinking about how we have to design for autism. The first criteria is acoustics.
Design should include features specially tailored to cater the needs of autism. Space that ensures freedom of movement, furniture and storage that is fit for purpose, adjustable lighting and heating, good acoustics and stimulative furnishings and colours for learning and to create a calm atmosphere. Feedback given from an autistic parent says that the solution would likely be appropriate for people who need more support and services on a regular basis rather than someone who's more independent or whose needs are not as significant. Also, there are benefits to limiting the number of families just so as to be able to manage the experience and resources. However, the person imagines that if the place were able to accommodate multiple families at once, it might feel more like a connected community. Families of special needs individuals often feel isolated and alone